Welcome back. I'm Lex Levy. Today we're in Dahshur at the Bent Pyramid. We're going to carry out some research inside. Let's go. We're here in Dahshur on the northern side of the Red Pyramid, the final pyramid of Sneferu's 3. We're going to walk around the perimeter and then go inside and do some research. Okay, we're going to make our way down the descending passage. Follow me. Yellow bean. Look at this stress fracture. All right, we're in the first chamber of the Red Pyramid. Presented the chemical analysis that our colleagues at the ISIDA Project the Pyramid of Meidum.
If you want to help support our research and expeditions, grab some merch from the new Archaeo.alchemy store. Rock the classic logo in your favorite color combination with some beautiful alchemical prints. There are hats, mugs, hoodies, shorts, tanks, and tapestries. More designs are in the works, so stay tuned. And if you want to be the lifeblood of my channel, please become a member for early access, exclusive updates, and content. Thank you all so much. Now, back to our adventure. In today's expedition, we will explore the Bent Pyramid, attributed to the Old Kingdom Pharaoh Sneferu, located in Dahshur, approximately 40 kilometers south of Cairo. The Bent Pyramid is also known as the White Pyramid. I find this interesting because in Dahshur we also have the Black Pyramid and the Red Pyramid. This immediately reminds me of the 3 core alchemical stages, which are Nigredo, the blackening, Albedo, the whitening, and Rubedo, the reddening. It is interesting that these colors also comprise the flag of Egypt. Sometimes there is a 4th alchemical stage, known as Citronidus, and represented in yellow. Perhaps there is a 4th pyramid in Dahshur with this designation.
Welcome back. I'm Lex Levy. Today we're in Dahshur at the Bent Pyramid. We're going to carry out some research inside. Let's go.
In today's expedition, we will journey inside the Bent Pyramid to complete 2 research objectives for an ISIDA Project mission. Then, we will travel the exterior perimeter and investigate the magnetic anomalies of the Eastern Temple at a structure known as the Chapel and its dual pillar system. Then, we will examine the substructure of the satellite pyramid.
We are standing at the northwestern corner of the Bent Pyramid. Take a look at the remaining casing stones made of limestone and the marvelous engineering of this pyramid. It's razor sharp.
The Bent Pyramid has a height of approximately 105 meters. Its lower slope is at an angle of 54 degrees, and its upper slope at an angle of 43 degrees. It is because of the marvelous engineering of this pyramid that most of the casing stones still remained intact. Because of these slope angles, the casing stones are inclined inwards toward the center of the pyramid, making it extremely difficult to dislodge and quarry away.
It's a clear day, so in the distance, you can see to the east the black pyramid attributed to Amenhat III, made of mud brick. Now we're going to make our way to the northern entrance. Follow me. And looking down, there's this odd ring of river stones.
Here we have a schematic of the internal structures done by Pharaoh that will help orient you as we explore. The Bent Pyramid has 2 entrances, a northern and a western. We will enter through the northern entrance.
All right, come with me as we descend the northern passage.
This is a schematic of the descending passage, antechamber, and the lower chamber. Here you see the approximate location of the fracture that we'll have a close look at. The apex of the lower chamber is approximately where the natural bedrock level is.
Bye.
A couple sections of the descending passage. This one here. Blocks removed, and we're also going to try out another new feature of the GoPro. Boom.
Okay, I'm in the descending passage. We're going to look at this first break here.
Episode on the channel, which was actually my original hypothesis for the function of this structure. But at the time of the first book, I didn't have all of the evidence.
Okay, we just climbed the descending passage. Now we're going to make our way to the lower chamber.
Yep.
We have traveled the descending passageway and will now enter the antechamber. We will now explore the lower chamber system and the structure known as the chimney. You can see the corbelled vaulted ceiling. I'm hearing many chirps from bats today. Directly in front of us is what is known as the chimney. And this is a structure of interest today. Here is a 3D rendering done by Keith Hamilton, showing the descending passage, antechamber, lower chamber, chimney, and its shaft. The blocks in yellow represent a limestone portcullis system.
We are now in the lower chamber system. This is the antechamber at the bottom of the northern shaft. You can see the vaulted ceiling. There's some bats hanging out there. And this structure here is known as the chimney.
follow me as we ascend the stairway to the connecting passage that leads to the primary chamber. Let's go. We're now at the apex of the lower chamber. And now we're going to crawl to the connecting passage. Now we will explore the connecting tunnel. It is located between the northern and western room systems. It begins at the very top of the lower chamber. As you will see, it appears that the connecting tunnel was originally laid while the construction of the pyramid was underway, or made by someone who knew the pyramid internal structure very well, because it would be near impossible to connect the two different room systems of the pyramid's interior without knowing their locations, and without having special equipment. The tunnel enters a horizontal passage with an intersection. The left wing of it leads to the upper chamber, and the right to the end of the western descending passage. Now we're going to explore the connecting passage, which is part of our objective for today.
You can see the fossils in the limestone.
We were able to acquire a full LiDAR scan of the connecting tunnel. Here is a preview of our preliminary results.
Now there's some airflow.
We will now explore the horizontal passage and peer into the western descending passage. In the horizontal passage, there are two portcullis systems, one in the east and one in the west. There is a shaft before the western portcullis, which is now covered with wood. Its depth is about 4 meters, and the bottom is filled with sand, so the true depth is unknown. The movement of the eastern portcullis system is blocked by a pair of wooden logs, which is why I do not like to stay under it for long. Its present position allows you to get to the upper chamber. Alright, we just crawled through the connecting passage. We are now in the western shaft. To my left is one of two portcullis. And this shaft exits the pyramid on the western side, which I can show you later. Here we have a 3D rendering done by Keith Hamilton of the western portion of the horizontal passage. Here we have the shaft and the portcullis system. This is a photo taken from within the shaft. This is a diagram of the western portcullis system. And you can see the plug block is engaged. This is a 3D rendering of the descending western passage. And a photo from within the descending western passage, looking east, taken by my colleagues at the ISIDA Project. They were able to explore the entirety of this passage, climbing by rope, all the way to the external access. I love this photo. Now this portion of the western shaft has been expanded. You can see the chisel marks. And looking below, you can see a shaft. My left is the connecting passage. And here is the second portcullis, which I don't like to stand under. It's supported by a wooden beam. And there's a corbelled ceiling with some bats up above. Here's the other side. And now follow me to the primary chamber. At the bottom of the platform, within the upper chamber, there is a breach that extends two directions. 2 meters to the north and about 30 centimeters to the south. It appears that the tunnel makers did not push southward because they faced an anomalous quartzite structure which blocked the way. This quartzite structure is found in the center of the pyramid room system, denoted in red. We will now investigate the primary upper chamber. height of the upper chamber is approximately 16.5 meters tall. And looking up, there is little visible geometric detail on the incredibly eroded, shapeless steps which form the vaulted chamber ceiling. The traces of work of the ancient restorers can be seen by the pink and white cement, as well as the red marks on the surfaces of the damaged limestone masonry. What caused this local destruction of the upper part of the chamber? I believe my husband, Geoffrey Drumm, at the Land of Chem, has solved this mystery.
Here's the apex of the primary chamber. The remains of a vaulted ceiling. And this platform that we're standing on is a modern addition.
This concludes our expedition into the Bent Pyramid. Please like, share, subscribe.
If you want to help support our research and expeditions, grab some merch from the new Archaeo.alchemy store. Rock the classic logo in your favorite color combination with some beautiful alchemical prints. There are hats, mugs, hoodies, shorts, tanks, and tapestries. More designs are in the works, so stay tuned. And if you want to be the lifeblood of my channel, please become a member for early access, exclusive updates, and content. Thank you all so much. Now, back to our adventure.
Stones have been removed. And I'm hoping you can, so there's a huge area of the drip staining there, all of these areas where it looks like pockmarks where casing stones have been removed. There's this extremely red drip staining. It looks very much like iron oxide type material.
مرشد؟
أنا آسف مش فاهم. أنا بعالم مصري.
Oh.
This much. Yeah.
هنا الهرم ده موصل لده تحت.
Yes, yes, inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's open?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello. Excavated back toward the central structure. And they climbed down onto that tier that you can see there. And there is some red ochre paint on this wall. And I'll show you guys when we get outside and I get some service back. That appears to be a drawing of that shaft system.
Are you talking about right here, back in front of me?
Yeah, so they went down onto that wings there. We're in Dahshur at Bent's Pyramid.
You're in Dahshur?
Yes, yes. Are you coming at 4:30?
Yeah, I'm in my way.
Okay, okay, perfect. We'll see you here in a little bit.
Okay, my friend.
Okay, tamam. Shukran.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
In today's expedition, we travel to Dahshur. Dahshur is a part of the pyramid fields of the ancient capital city of Memphis. During our last expedition to Dahshur, in episode 41, we investigated the entire perimeter of the Bent Pyramid, including the Eastern Temple and Satellite Pyramid. Then, we examined all chambers of the substructure. Part 1 of today's expedition, we will explore the entire perimeter of the Red Pyramid. We will begin from the northwestern corner, traveling the northern face, and to the east. We will observe what remains of the Eastern Temple and see the surviving limestone casing. Within the temple, there is a display of a replica pyramidion. And at the southeastern corner, we will see remaining foundation stones. At the southwestern corner, we find a beautiful surviving corner casing stone that appears to be painted with the coating compound. In part 2 of our expedition, we will journey inside and examine all 3 chambers of the substructure. Now, let's go. We're here in Dahshur on the northern side of the Red Pyramid, the final pyramid of Sneferu's 3. We're gonna walk around the perimeter and then go inside and do some research. Let's go. Yellow Bean. I'm here with my husband, Geoffrey Drumm from the Land of Chem. He's having a stogie. It's great to be back.
All right, everyone, welcome back. decided to be back here today with some new equipment. Particular interest is ongoing, specifically episode 66, entitled Were the Pyramids Ancient? And episode 85, Applications for Ancient Ammonia. So my hypothesis regarding the function and product of the Red Pyramid is that this structure was designed and manufactured an aqueous solution of ammonia. And in episode 85, I discussed the role of aqueous ammonia in the processing of crude oil for the
You can see in the distance
products like bitumen.
the Black Pyramid,
And here in the distance
attributed to Amenemhat III,
is a Calda
made of
petroleum
mud brick.
and Apache oil joint. And if you look far enough into the distance, I can see the tip of the step pyramid to the north. Of course, in episode 125, I presented my hypothesis regarding the function of the step pyramid as related to the extraction of bedrock methane deposits and pumping thereon.
All right, we're here at the northeastern corner of the Red Pyramid.
Oil
And in the
natural
distance,
gas
you can see
and distribution facility
the Bent Pyramid.
located right next to your ancient aqueous ammonia
Bent Pyramid,
production plant.
Black Pyramid. Bent Pyramid of Sneferu, the Black Pyramid of Amenemhat III.
During my first
And I'm standing on the northeastern corner of the Red Pyramid. Sneferu's third pyramid. And in the distance, you can see the Bent Pyramid, also attributed to Sneferu. And here is the mud brick pyramid attributed to Amenemhat III. All right, we're going to walk the perimeter and then go inside. And here, to the north, you can see Saqqara. You can see, just faintly make out the step pyramid. There is an oil refinery called Apache Oil. Okay, we're now on the eastern side of the Red Pyramid, and we're approaching the Eastern Temple, or what remains of it. Here you can see in situ caving stones.
see a mud brick enclosure. You can still see remnants of the straw. Shells, fossils, encased.
Here's Red Pyramid of Dahshur. They have been painted red.
You can see remnants of the fine limestone casing that have been extracted from the pyramid. We're looking at the mud brick enclosure. There's a pit here. Looks like a corner piece. It's another pit. is the replica capstone. And you can see this red coating compound that my husband has spoke about many times in his research. Now this is all restoration work. You can see these mud brick magazines. Southeastern corner of the Red Pyramid. Limestone foundation. My husband's theory is that the Red Pyramid was painted with a coating compound.
Edge piece. You can see the flat surface here, the paint on this side, and you can see the red coating compound. this is actually an edge piece, like one of the corner pieces that would have gone here on the edge. It looks like an edge piece because there's, you can see traces of it here that would have coated this whole side and this whole side. And remember, we're looking at a compound. Sulfur trioxide, silicon dioxide, and aluminum trioxide. This is a beautiful piece.
لسه في اختبارات تانية.
This is the northwestern corner of the Red Pyramid. Let's go inside. Now we're going to climb to the top and then make the descent.
Yalabina.
Yalabina.
I actually don't think that's casing stone. It's, unless there was a depression, because look at how far we are away from the outside.
Yes, we're several courses in.
All right. Yalabina.
Yalabina.
All right, and there's another interesting feature about the Red Pyramid.
Okay, we're going to make our way down the descending passage. Follow me. Yalabina.
This concludes part 1 of our expedition in Dahshur, a 360 examination of the Red Pyramid. In part 2, we will journey inside. In today's expedition, we traveled to Dahshur. In part 1, we traveled the desert sands on a 360 tour around the perimeter of the Red Pyramid. We examined the Eastern Temple, the in-situ limestone casing, and the red coating compound that's applied to the exterior of the pyramid. In part 2, we travel inside of the Red Pyramid and explore all 3 corbelled vaulted chambers within. Let's go.
I'm Lex Levy. Today we're back in Dahshur and I'm standing in front of the red pyramid attributed to Sneferu. We're going to do some research inside, so come with me, let's go. I'm here with my husband Geoffrey Drumm from the land of Chem. He's having a stogie. It's great to be back.
And I'm very excited to be back here today. Some new equipment.
Now we're going to climb to the top and then make the descent.
Yalabina.
Yalabina.
I actually don't think that's casing stone. It's, unless there was a depression, because look at how far we are away from the outside.
Yes, we're several courses in.
All right. Yalabina.
Yalabina.
All right, and there's another interesting feature about the red pyramid.
The following schematics I'm about to show you are from Keith Hamilton's Layman's Guide on the Red Pyramid. This layout of the Red Pyramid substructure is how Pairing and M&R see the pyramid, with the second chamber aligned with the apex, directly in the center, and chambers 1 and 2 on level with the pyramid's base. This layout is based on Dorner's reconstruction, where he suggests that the lower chamber's floor was 3.15 meters above the base of the pyramid. We enter the pyramid on the northern side and travel down the descending passage. It is here that we are met with the first horizontal passage, and there is a pit that is covered with floorboards. We enter into the first vaulted chamber, running north to south. Then a second horizontal passage, and then a second vaulted chamber, also running north to south. Then we ascend via a stairwell into the third horizontal passage, and to the final chamber that runs east to west. This is a 3D reconstruction of the Red Pyramid substructure that will help you visualize what we are about to explore.
Okay, we're going to make our way down the descending passage. Follow me. Yalabina. All right, let's go.
Of course, it's not really doing anything because it's in multiple places, but the intention of that air pipe is to try to bring air into the final chamber, trying to get rid of the smell. So here's
Right away, you can see the stain on the ceiling. Look at how red. Now this is all limestone. Look at the color change. Take a look at how red it's staining, especially on the upper portion of this passage. Wow. Now the locals know this pyramid as the Bat Pyramid. That's because of the stench. It reeks of ammonia. It's chemical, pure chemical ammonia smell. Geoffrey's all the way down at the termination of this descending passage. Look at how stained, corroded this is. There's been some patchwork here. Sure, it's a lot easier to climb in comparison to the bent pyramid. You can already smell the ammonia. Babe, how many times would you say you've been in the Red Pyramid?
too many.
right at the termination of the descending passage, there is a pit. It's now covered with wooden floorboard. Look at this massive fracture here. All right, at the termination of this descending passage is a pit. Look at this. And this is where the pit is.
This is a schematic of the pit that's found at the conjunction of the descending passage and the first horizontal passage done by M&R. The conventional theory is that this pit is a robber's tunnel. However, take a closer look at the geometry. It appears that this angle of the masonry was intended and an original part of the configuration.
Okay, we're going to make our way into the first chamber. There's a series of 3. We're in the horizontal passage now. Take a look at the vaulted ceiling and the strange drip patterns. There's a clear delineation here of the staining. There's not a single bat in here. Look at the stress fracture. These have been put in place to measure any changes and monitor the fracture. All right, let's make our way to the second chamber. Another stress fracture. All right, we're in the first chamber of the Red Pyramid. You can see there's this peculiar nub. And to the right, a square that looks like a patchwork
Now the entire substructure is made out of limestone. And if you look at the apex, you can see there's a steam. The staining is most heavy on the side, on the south wall. There's some interesting patterns from the horizontal passage and then around the floor. And this corner has attached. There's some major fracturing going on here as well. All right, let's make our way through this horizontal passage into the secondary chamber, and we'll observe this immense stress fracture that runs along the entirety of the horizontal passage. And you can see by these markers that they're closely monitoring this fracture. All right, we're in the secondary chamber. It's also vaulted. There's a curious hole here with drip stain and some graffiti. Now I have a UV light. Let's analyze this. We're going to do a UV analysis of this drip staining here. We're going to look for any fluorescence of trace metals. You can see a slight glow. We're going to do a UV analysis. Looking for any fluorescence from trace metals. And Geoffrey has presented the chemical analysis that our colleagues at the ISIDA Project have carried out.
The highest concentration of lead is in the, you can see there's all sort of fluorescence, especially here, the green color.
Oh yeah.
And even in this stream. Turn off the flashlight.
But the highest concentration of lead from the chemical analysis is in the holes in the upper vault, which we'll get to here in just a minute. But there's definitely some fluorescence in this.
Pretty cool. All right. Let's proceed into the third chamber. All right, we will now look at the northern wall of the second chamber of the Red Pyramid. You can see how heavy the staining is on the upper courses. Still not a single bag. All right, we're in the secondary chamber of the Red Pyramid. Take a look. It looks like there is an air exchange tube here. It's quite stinky. All right, let's go into the third and final chamber. We have to climb up first. Looks like there's a fine layer of mortar.
2, 3, 4 holes or housings. Take a look. And they are bilateral, so they're directly across from each other. And there's goo or staining dripping from them. It appears that they chiseled out. And looking at the apex, you can again see a seam, which is peculiar masonry. Certainly looks like an alien cathedral in here. All right. There are 3 more holes here. And this one, which is similar to what we've seen in the vent pyramid. This one exits in the horizontal passage. You can see the light shining through. All right, we're in the horizontal passage that leads to the final chamber, the 3rd chamber. And there's a seam that runs. This does not appear to be a fracture, but an actual seam in the masonry that runs along the horizontal passage. It looks like it's been mortared. We are now in the 3rd and final vaulted chamber. The smell is certainly more intense, and there is not a single bag here. Now the floor of the final chamber has been excavated. There's this massive pit, and then a beginning of a shaft to the north. But it's a dead end. There's this outlier here, this single block that has a darker color than the rest. And again, you have a seam at the apex of the wall. All right, we're now looking at the eastern wall of the final chamber. Why was there such an effort to extract all the stone from the pavement?
All right, this concludes our expedition into the Red Pyramid, and now we will perform our primary objectives for the day. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned. Never stop exploring.
The pyramid of Meidum. You excited?
Very.
We're going to take a look at this container here. Some Jekyll.
Oh, I've been down there with Yusuf, yeah. See the pieces of the rubble of the limestone there and the mud brick core. Down inside this thing. So we are going to get suited up. Headlights, flashlights, gloves, and we're going to crawl down inside this hole. So bear with me and we'll be right back. All right, let's do this. And I'm going to take you along with us as we go down inside. Pretty good shot of the Pyramid of Meidum there behind us. Into Mastaba 17.
ايوه خليه يروح المعبد خليه ايمن يوديه المعبد قبل ما يخلص ماشي ماشي خليه وراه.
So this is the easy part.
يا طاي اوكي خليه قبل ما خليه وراه. اوكي
ايوه يلا بينا.
والترهيب
And let me turn my headlight on. There we go. So you can see a little bit better. Alright, so now we go down this ladder and then there's a tunnel that goes through, and you may remember seeing this from last time where it's a real pain in the ass to get down in here. So next step is down the ladder. Yalla bina. Okay. You'll see our guide here. Down that little hole. Lex, you want to hold this?
Sure. Got it. Be careful.
Yep. Put your gloves on. And so this is how we do Christmas presents here at the Land of Chem. This is my Christmas present to Lex.
Thank you.
It's crawling down in this hole. All right. So now you can see my guy here. Our guide into the Mastaba 17. primary chamber. You good, babe?
I'm good.
Alright. ما فيش مشكلة.
فيش مشكلة.
Alright. There's Lex as she comes through. Now, so the tunnel that we just crawled through was carved into these chambers by, and you can see the wall is broken through here. That is not a shaft leading into the structure. That was a later intrusion into the structure that was carved by, tomb raiders. So they tunneled down into the bedrock and through the limestone chamber walls. And here, I'm gonna go over here. I will, yes. Here, hold this for me. I will. Yes, 1 minute.
Go.
Oh, here, first? Or?
Yeah.
Here, I'll go here first. Alright. So one thing, you'll see those bats in here. There you go.
I hear them.
But all right, so here's a, oh goodness. You guys hear that? Oh. Pretty profound. All right. So this is the original inlet down into the structure. You see there's a whole family of bats living over there.
Bangladesh. أيوة.
In Tamale, how are you? So, babe, would you say there's any smell of ammonia down in here?
No.
No staining on the walls?
No.
I'm Batman. Alright. And that's why Yusuf and I came down here several years ago, was to conclusively prove, well, the chemical analysis is really what proved that the staining inside the Red Pyramid has absolutely nothing to do with bats. This was simply a demonstration to show a completely contained chamber that is filled with bats, and there's no drip staining on the walls, similar to what we see inside the Red Pyramid. And there's no smell of ammonia down in here.
No.
All right. So now, and Lex, you got the good flashlight?
Yes, I do. It's a torch.
All right. Now we're in business. All right. Interior limestone chamber.
These tool marks are from modern excavation and breaking up these stones. These are not ancient. Yeah. And I don't want to shine the light up here because they're probably all going to scatter. But you can see there's a rather large family of bats in here. And there's no drip staining on the walls. So look up here, look at all these guys.
Oh, they're wagging their tails.
Yeah. All right, no drip staining. No smell of ammonia inside of this chamber. And this family of bats has been living in here. I've been down in here twice on my 2020 expedition and 2021 expeditions. Hold this for a sec. And just wanted to check and make sure we're still filming here. Okay, good. All right. And here is a pretty massive red granite container. And these tool markings are not ancient. That's from modern intrusions into the structure. Let's see if we can get a look here. There we go. All right, so the inside of the red granite container. Get a look here. It's okay. All right. Pretty awesome. No, shook it up. And this looks like an ancient mallet, a wooden mallet that they've used to prop open this thing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and you can hear there are some profound all right, you can take the good flashlight.
Okay.
You go first.
I'll light the light.
This man, Bakshish, no.
Oh, yes, I know. Yeah, only you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Shukran jazila, Sadiq.
Thank you very much.
You good?
I'm good. Go.
That ass, though.
You like that?
All right. There we go. Yeah, I'm good, babe. Oh, you're gonna blind the people. Go.
Got you with the lumens. All these crystals.
Yes. Remember, this tunnel is not original. Go ahead.
That was fun.
Merry Christmas. All right. Let's go. Awesome.
What's up, head?
Busty.
see the light.
All right. That was as much of a pain in the ass as I remember. Whew. All right. Just doing my best not to inhale a bunch of pyramid dust. And just a shot of some of the gorgeous farmland. The excavations. There's another one over here. You can see it's ever present out here in the Layman oasis. All right. Inside the pyramid of Meidum. Hold my breath. Right here. Back one.
start first.
Okay.
Yalla bina.
اوكي والله ده دقيق قوي دقيق في الصور قوي.
We'll be discussing the configuration of the chamber system. As we approach the interior components, one thing that is a major difference is the height of the primary inlet shaft. This one I can almost, it's not quite, but almost stand all the way up.
I can.
Oh, she can. I'm crouched down a little bit still. You can see that there's some pretty significant erosion and just general destruction of this inlet shaft. There was only a very small area that was finished to the original proportions. All this has either been, and I don't know why they would destroy this inner part. And I will say that this area here looks particularly rounded. Look at how round that is. It looks very similar to the erosion that we see down in the bottom of the bent pyramid, this area here. And it looks pretty much the same, leading all the way down in through here. These are limestone blocks. You can see the seam of the limestone block here. And there's some seams here. There's a seam here. This is a block. Alright. So now we've reached the bottom of the primary inlet shaft. And this is another difference, is this little ancillary chamber here. So there's a little housing here, and you can see that it was originally finished. So down here, you can see the remains of what would have been the casing that covered this area. So this was originally a finished little housing, very reminiscent to what we see inside of the central pyramid. It has the little alcoves adjacent to the primary inlet. Alright, so now I'm going to go up these stairs. That will take us, and the last time that I was in here, the electricity was off. I did this in the dark. And we're going to go up this ladder system into the core of the pyramid. In the primary chamber. You can see here there are some wooden beams inside of the structure. Oh, it's a tight fit going up here. Okay, good. This is actually accessible. This is the area that I wanted to look at. Here. So this is believed to possibly be an access into the secondary chamber system. You coming?
I'm coming.
Okay. Oh. And I'll show this in a diagram at the beginning of the episode. But This hole here is believed to be a cavity that could lead to the secondary chamber, which is the design phase. Again, this is an intermediary structure. Moving from the engineering, construction, and chemistry of the step pyramid into the fully functional structure that we saw in the red pyramid. So you can see in here what would have in its original condition. You can see that some of these are actually finished here, here, here. But they never finished this structure. You can see that the upper beams have not been finished to the 90-degree angle. So these are pretty close to finished. As you move up, the interior part here is still very, bulbous looking. It hasn't been finished to the fine 90-degree angle finish. And the conventional story goes that there was a catastrophic collapse in the structure that led to all the casing stones crashing down off the outside, and they abandoned the construction. But one of my main questions is, if this was originally intended as the burial place, the first burial place for Sneferu, as the conventional story goes, why the hell did they build it all the way out here in the middle of nowhere? If he was intending to be buried among all the rest of the pharaohs adjacent to the Nile River, there's absolutely no reason for them building this structure out here in the Flying Oasis. Yeah, I would propose that it was never really intended to be a functional chemical manufacturing facility. But again, it was rather an intermediary test structure that was designed to evaluate some of the potential engineering, physics, construction, chemistry, etc., that was to be implemented in the red pyramid of Dahshur. And they certainly could have tested at least some of the physics-related capabilities inside of the structure. And who knows what was removed here from this little housing. This reminds me very much of what we saw inside the pyramid of Usarkaf in our special permission access. It had housing that was removed out of the wall that was very, very reminiscent to what we see here. Here, at the floor of the chamber, there would have originally been paving or casing stones at the bottom. But just look at how eroded some of these are. It's very, very smooth. Some strange erosion patterns here in these little paving or casing blocks. Lex was just pointing out there's a drill hole here. So I would almost guarantee that there's a secondary chamber system back behind this wall, which would function as the primary and secondary chambers of the red pyramid. Again, I'll put in a diagram at the beginning so we can discuss the configuration so you know exactly what I am referring to. And if you look, there's a bunch of mortar around that piece of timber, most likely Lebanese cedar. All right. So that is the inside of the only accessible chamber within the Pyramid of Meidum. We have several more structures on our expedition to the Fayum Oasis today. I'll leave those as a surprise, so stay tuned. Yalabina.
You want some light on you?
Okay. كله تمام. شكرا صديقي. Thank you.
Look at this.
Okay. واحدة واحدة.
Bunch of houses. Yeah, you're right, that shape is similar to what we saw in Mexico.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. روق علينا. أقول لك لأ؟ لا. تنكر أنا عارف. أنا عارف. ربنا يديك الصحة. أنا بجيب كنت من معادي قال لي يا ابني بكرة هتشتغل وفعلا الحمد لله. اشتغلت حاجة اسمها ساكن كده من 2008 اشتغلت بعد من 2008 لغاية 2015 ورجعت أنعم علينا والحمد لله بنشتغل بقى يوم ونحن الحمد لله والله ماشيين.
Look at that. So here's the causeway. And as always, they are located in close proximity to a water source. You see the causeway going down here. The lush area that you can see there in the distance with the farmland and the date palm trees. This was originally the causeway, and I'll show some old photos from the original excavations. Oh, sweet. We're going to open up the temple last time. This is how it is. Filled with bees.
Bees?
And we only got like 2 seconds inside there before we got absolutely mauled by a swarm of bees. And this area is of particular interest. Those of you that just saw Members Only Channel episode 6, you will know
Hi. We're going to take a look at a very important component of the structure here.
Let's go.
That, ladies and gentlemen, this dual pillar system in the same location on the eastern side within the temple of the bent pyramid, and also the satellite pyramid of the bent pyramid featured this dual pillar system. Specific function for this component, as recently explained, again in Members Only Episode 6. You can see the tops of these are still, that's not the original top, it's all eroded and broken off there at the top. Same thing with this one here. So it was originally much taller. The geometry of the termination, that's a subject for some debate. Nobody really knows what the top of these things originally looked like. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our expedition to Site 1 here at the Pyramid of Meidum in the Lahoun Oasis. This is just the beginning of today's expedition. We are just getting started. Several more sites to go, including a very special, exclusive, never before seen Land of Chem site visit. I won't spoil the surprise, but it will be the highlight of today's expedition for me. So stay tuned. Yellowina.
Okay. Oh, there's a hole over there.
Yeah.
Wanna look?
We don't have to look at every single hole. Look, there's a hole.
Smart ass. That's how you discover things.
So there would have originally been 3 more levels above what you can see now.
Just see the third tier.
If you want to help support our research and expeditions, grab some merch from the new Archaeo.alchemy store. Rock the classic logo in your favorite color combination with some beautiful alchemical prints. There are hats, mugs, hoodies, shorts, tanks, and tapestries. More designs are in the works, so stay tuned. And if you want to be the lifeblood of my channel, please become a member for early access, exclusive updates, and content. Thank you all so much.